At just 7 years old, Nikki had already survived torment no child should ever face. Her stepmother, Evelyn, was cruel. Her father looked away. And one night, with nothing left inside her, Nikki ran into the darkness, ready to face whatever waited outside the door. Everyone believed she died. But 15 years later, she returned. The day Evelyn learned Nikki was alive, her entire world collapsed because no one expected the little girl they tried to break to rise again, stronger, richer, and fearless. How did Nikki survive those 15 years? And how will she confront the two people who destroyed her childhood? Sit tight. The mystery is about to unfold. Hello friends, welcome to my channel and thank you for stopping by. Before we continue the story, please like this video and comment where you're watching from. Maybe the US, the UK, South Africa, Japan, or anywhere in the world. We'd really love to know. Leave a comment so I can connect with you, and please remember to subscribe. Your subscription means a lot to us and helps us create more stories like this. Thank you so much for your support. The belt cracked across Nikki's back. She bit her lip, tasted blood. Wouldn't scream. Not for Evelyn. You think you're special? Evelyn's voice dripped poison. Your mother's dead. Your father doesn't care. You're nothing. 7 years old, Nikki pressed against the wall. Her father sat downstairs, heard everything, did nothing. The belt came down again. Nikki's legs buckled. She collapsed on the cold floor. Get up. Evelyn kicked her ribs. Clean this room, now. The door slammed. Lock clicked. Nikki lay there, counting her breaths. 1, 2, 3. Her mother's face flashed in her memory. Warm smile, gentle hands, gone at 5. 2 years felt like forever. Thunder rolled outside. Rain hammered the windows. She crawled to her bed, pulled out a small bag hidden underneath. Inside, a photo of her mother, a few coins, 1 piece of bread. Tonight. She had to leave tonight. At midnight, the house went silent. Nikki's hands shook as she turned the doorknob. Locked, always locked. She grabbed a hairpin, twisted it, jammed it in the lock. Her fingers were small, clumsy, but desperate. The door opened. She froze, listened. Evelyn's snoring echoed from down the hall. Nikki moved, every step careful, every breath controlled. She reached the stairs, wooden, old. They creaked. First step, quiet, second step. A groan. She stopped, held her breath. Evelyn's snoring continued. Third step, fourth, fifth. Almost there. Where do you think you're going? Nikki's heart stopped. Her father stood at the bottom of the stairs, bottle in hand, eyes glazed. Please, Daddy, she whispered. Please let me go. He stared at her. For a moment, something flickered in his eyes. Regret? Pain? Then he looked away, took a drink. Go, he muttered, before she wakes up. Nikki ran. She burst through the front door into the storm. Rain hit her like fists, cold, brutal. She didn't look back. Her feet pounded the pavement, lungs burned. The bag bounced against her side. Behind her, a light flicked on in the house. Nikki! Evelyn's scream cut through the thunder. Nikki ran faster, left turn, right turn, through an alley, over a fence. The rain washed away her tears. Or maybe she was crying. She couldn't tell anymore. She ran until her legs gave out. The bridge loomed ahead, dark, empty. Nikki stumbled underneath it, collapsed against the concrete wall. The rain couldn't reach her here, but the cold could. She wrapped her arms around herself, shivered violently. Mama, she whispered, I need you. No answer, just the sound of rain and traffic above. She pulled out the bread, took a small bite. She had to make it last. Her eyes grew heavy, so tired, so cold. Maybe she'd just sleep. Maybe she wouldn't wake up. That would be okay. Headlights swept across the bridge. A car slowed, stopped. Nikki didn't move, didn't care anymore. Footsteps, coming closer. My God, a woman's voice, soft but strong. Nikki looked up. Through the rain, she saw an angel, expensive coat, kind eyes, umbrella. Sweetheart, what are you doing here? The woman knelt down, didn't care about the mud. Nikki couldn't speak, couldn't move. The woman touched her forehead. You're freezing. How long have you been here? Don't send me back, Nikki's voice cracked. Please, she'll kill me. The woman's expression hardened. Who will kill you? My stepmother. Silence. The woman studied her face, saw the bruises, the fear, the desperation. What's your name? Nikki. The woman stood, made a decision. Nikki, I'm Victoria Chen. You're coming with me, right now. But no arguments. Victoria scooped her up. Nikki was too weak to resist. Victoria carried her to a black Mercedes, opened the back door, laid her gently on the leather seats. Warmth, softness, safety. "Where do you live?" Victoria asked, starting the engine. "No." Nikki grabbed her arm, panic in her eyes. "Please, not there. Anywhere but there." Victoria looked at her in the rearview mirror, saw something that broke her heart. "Okay," she said quietly. "Not there. Never there again." She drove into the night. Nikki watched the bridge disappear behind them, watched her old life fade into darkness. She didn't know where they were going. She didn't care. Anything was better than back there. The apartment was massive, lights everywhere, warm. "Stay here," Victoria said, settling Nikki on a couch. "I'm calling my doctor." "No hospitals." Nikki's voice trembled. "They'll find me." "My private doctor," Victoria assured her. "Nobody will know." She made the call, then brought hot soup, warm blankets, clean clothes. Nikki ate slowly. Her stomach wasn't used to real food. "Tell me what happened," Victoria said gently. The story poured out. Her mother's death, her father's remarriage, Evelyn's cruelty, the beatings, the starvation, the locked room. Victoria's jaw tightened with each word. "And your father? He knew? He drinks? He let me go tonight?" But he never stopped her. Victoria stood, paced, anger radiated from her. "That ends now." She turned to Nikki. "I'm keeping you." Nikki blinked. "What?" "I'm adopting you legally, officially. You're mine now. Nobody touches you again." "But you don't even know me." Victoria knelt in front of her, took her small hands. "I know enough. I know you're brave. I know you're strong. I know you survived." Her eyes glistened. "I lost my daughter 5 years ago. Cancer. She was your age. I never thought I'd... But you need someone. And I need you." Nikki's tears came. Real tears. Not from pain, from something else. Hope. "They'll look for me," she whispered. "Let them." Victoria's voice turned cold. "I have lawyers, money, power. They won't touch you." "Will they try? Maybe, at first. But when they realize who I am, what I can do," she smiled grimly, "they'll stop. Trust me." The doctor arrived, examined Nikki, documented everything. Photos, reports, evidence, severe malnutrition, multiple contusions, healed fractures, recent lacerations. The doctor's voice was clinical but furious. "This is systematic abuse." "Document everything," Victoria ordered. "We're building a case." Back at Nikki's house, chaos erupted. Evelyn tore through rooms, screamed at Nikki's father. "Find her! She couldn't have gone far." "It's pouring rain," he slurred. "She's probably dead in a ditch somewhere." "Good." Evelyn's eyes were wild. Better dead than causing problems. But as hours passed, doubt crept in. What if someone found her? What if she talked? "We need to report this," Nikki's father said suddenly. "Say she ran away before someone..." "Shut up!" Evelyn grabbed his collar. "We report nothing. If anyone asks, she's been gone for days. We've been searching. We're devastated. Got it?" He nodded weakly. Days became weeks. No sign of Nikki. The police came once, asked questions. Evelyn cried perfectly, played the worried stepmother. They left. More weeks passed. "She's dead," Evelyn finally said. "Has to be. No child survives alone out there." She smiled. Nikki's father just drank more. Victoria worked fast. New identity papers, private schools, the best therapists, anything Nikki needed. "You're Nikki Chen now," Victoria said, signing the final adoption papers. "My daughter, my heiress. Everything I have is yours." Nikki stared at the documents, her new name, her new life. "Why?" she asked. "Why do all this for me?" Victoria cupped her face. "Because you deserve it. Because you survived. Because I see something in you, Nikki. Strength, intelligence, fire." She smiled. "And because we're going to make sure nobody ever hurts you again." Nikki hugged her. First real hug in 2 years. "Thank you, Mom." Victoria's breath caught. Tears fell. "Thank you, daughter." 15 years later, Nikki Chen stood in her office. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooked the city. She was 22 now, poised, powerful, beautiful. Victoria had taught her everything: business, leadership, strength. Last year, Victoria had passed away, peaceful, in her sleep. She left everything to Nikki, the company, the fortune, the empire. Nikki inherited it all. She touched the photo on her desk, Victoria smiling, the woman who saved her, the mother who chose her. "I'll make you proud," she whispered. Evelyn held the newspaper with shaking hands. The headline screamed, "Victoria Chen's heiress takes control of billion-dollar empire." But it was the photo that made her blood run cold. Nikki, older, elegant, powerful, alive. "No!" Evelyn's voice cracked. Nikki's father stumbled into the room, still drinking after all these years. "You saw it?" he mumbled. How is she alive? Evelyn threw the paper at him. She was supposed to be dead, a street rat, nothing. Victoria Chen adopted her. He laughed bitterly. The CEO, one of the richest women in the country. Evelyn sank into a chair. Her mind spun all these years, living comfortably off Nikki's father's insurance money, convinced the problem was buried. Now this. What if she talks? Evelyn's voice dropped to a whisper. What if she tells people what happened? It's been 15 years. Who'd believe her? She's a billionaire now, Evelyn screamed. Everyone will believe her. She could destroy us. Silence filled the room. Then Evelyn smiled. Slow, calculating. Unless what? Unless we control the narrative. Evelyn stood, paced. My 45th birthday is next week. We invite her, publicly, show everyone we've been searching for her all these years, that we're thrilled she's alive. You're insane. No, I'm smart. Evelyn grabbed her phone. We play the victims, the heartbroken parents who lost their daughter. If she accuses us of anything, we look sympathetic. She looks vindictive. She'll never come. She will. Evelyn's eyes gleamed. Curiosity, revenge. Whatever her reason, she'll want to see us squirm. She dialed. I need a private investigator. The call came 3 days later. Evelyn's hands trembled as she dialed Nikki's number. Yes? The voice was smooth, professional. Nothing like the terrified child she remembered. Nikki, it's Evelyn, your stepmother. Silence. Long and heavy. I know who you are. Your father and I, we just found out you're alive. We thought, all these years, Evelyn forced tears into her voice. We thought we'd lost you. Really? We're having a small gathering, my birthday, next Saturday. Please come. Let us see you. Let us explain what? Nikki's voice could cut glass. How you beat a 7-year-old? How you starved her? Locked her in rooms? Evelyn's mask slipped. That's not how it was. I remember everything. You were a troubled child. We did our best. I'll come. Evelyn froze. What? I said I'll come to your party, next Saturday. What time? 7 o'clock. Perfect, I wouldn't miss it. She hung up, walked to the window. The city glittered below. Game on, Evelyn, she whispered. Thank you for watching up to this point. If you haven't subscribed yet, please take a second to hit that subscribe button. It really helps us grow and bring you more stories like this. Drop a comment and tell us where you're watching from. We'd love to connect with you. Don't keep watching without subscribing. Your support means a lot to us. Thank you. Evelyn stared at the phone. She's coming, she told her husband. Why would she come? I don't know. Evelyn's stomach churned. But we need to be ready. Smiled at her reflection in the window. Her assistant knocked. Ms. Chen, the reports you requested. Come in, Dave. He placed a folder on her desk. Everything on Evelyn and your biological father. Financial records, legal history, medical records. Nikki flipped through. Her expression never changed. Evelyn's been embezzling from your father's business for years. He's nearly bankrupt. She's been hiding assets in offshore accounts. Of course she has. Your father's liver is failing, cirrhosis. He has maybe 2 years left. Nikki felt nothing. The man who let Evelyn hurt her deserved nothing. And the house? Mortgaged 3 times. They're drowning in debt. Perfect. Nikki closed the folder. What else? I took the liberty of researching the guests for this party. David pulled out his tablet. Mostly they're old friends. About 30 people. Nobody important. Make it important. David looked up. Ma'am? Contact the major news outlets, society columnists. Tell them Nikki Chen is making a rare public appearance at her stepmother's birthday party. No details why. Just enough to make them curious. You want media there? I want witnesses. Nikki's smile was cold. This won't be a small gathering anymore. By the time I'm done, everyone will know exactly who Evelyn is. David grinned. I'll make the calls. And David, prepare a gift. Something special for Evelyn. What kind of gift? Justice. The week crawled by. Evelyn watched the RSVPs flood in. Too many. Way too many. Why are all these people coming? She asked nervously. You sent invitations to half the city, her husband slurred. I sent 30 invitations, not 300. But they kept coming. Socialites, business people, reporters. Then she saw the social media posts. Nikki Chen to attend mystery family event. Billionaire Iris reunites with estranged family. The party of the season. Why is everyone talking about Evelyn's birthday? She did this. Evelyn's voice shook. She's making this a spectacle. Maybe we should cancel. We can't cancel now. It'll look suspicious. They were trapped. Evelyn realized it too late. Nikki had outmaneuvered her before the game even started. Saturday arrived. Evelyn's modest home was transformed. She'd spent money she didn't have on decorations, catering, trying to look successful. Guests arrived, filled the house, the backyard, spilled onto the street. Cameras flashed. Reporters lingered outside. Evelyn wore her best dress, smiled until her face hurt, played the perfect hostess, but her eyes kept darting to the door. Waiting. 7 o'clock became 7:30. Then 8. "She's not coming," her husband muttered. "She said she would. She lied, like you lied to her." Evelyn shot him a venomous look. 8:15. The crowd grew restless. Some guests started leaving. Then the sound came. Distant at first, growing louder. Engines, multiple engines. Everyone turned toward the street. Headlights appeared, bright, expensive. 3 black SUVs pulled up, military precision. The middle vehicle was different, longer, a limousine. The crowd went silent. Doors opened. Men in black suits emerged. Professional, armed. Hard to tell. They formed a perimeter. The limousine door opened. A hand appeared, elegant, manicured. Then she stepped out. Nikki Chen. Evelyn's breath caught. The girl she'd beaten was gone. In her place stood a woman who radiated power. Designer dress, diamond jewelry, hair perfect, makeup flawless. But it was her eyes that made Evelyn's blood freeze. Those same eyes, the child's eyes. But harder now. Colder. Nikki walked toward the house. Her bodyguards flanked her. Guests parted like the Red Sea. Cameras flashed everywhere. She reached the porch, stopped in front of Evelyn. Silence. Complete silence. "Hello, Evelyn," Nikki's voice carried across the yard. "Happy birthday." Evelyn's mouth opened, closed. No words came. "Surprised?" Nikki smiled. Not warm, not friendly. "You thought I was dead. I can see it on your face." "Hey, we thought..." Evelyn stumbled over words. "You thought wrong." Nikki glanced around. "Nice party. Lot of people. Lot of cameras. Nikki, please, can we talk?" "Privately? No." Nikki's voice hardened. "We're done with private conversations. Everything happens in the light now." She turned to the crowd, addressed everyone. 15 years ago, I ran away from this house. I was 7 years old. Do you want to know why?" "Nikki, don't." Evelyn reached for her. "Don't touch me." Nikki's voice cracked like a whip. Evelyn's hand fell. A bodyguard stepped forward, handed Nikki a folder. "Let me tell you all a story," Nikki continued, "about a woman who married a widower with a young daughter. A woman who saw that daughter as a burden, an inconvenience." "That's not true." Evelyn's voice rose. "Really?" Nikki opened the folder, pulled out photos. "These are medical records from the night Victoria Chen found me. Broken ribs, malnutrition, bruises covering my body." She held them up. Cameras zoomed in, gasps rippled through the crowd. This is what Evelyn did to a 7-year-old child. "You were difficult," Evelyn screamed. "You wouldn't listen. I was 7. Nikki's composure cracked. Raw emotion showed through. "I lost my mother. I was grieving, and you beat me for crying." The crowd shifted. Murmurs of disgust. Evelyn looked around, saw the judgment in every face. You don't understand. She's lying. She wants revenge because you abused me? Yes, I do want that." Nikki pulled out more documents. "Here are the financial records, showing how you've been embezzling from my father's business for years. How you've bankrupted him while hiding money in offshore accounts." She tossed the papers at Evelyn's feet. "Here's the private investigator's report, showing the 3 other families you worked for before my father, all left under mysterious circumstances. All involved children." More papers fell. "And here," Nikki pulled out the final document, "is the lawsuit I'm filing on Monday. Civil charges for child abuse, criminal charges for fraud, and a restraining order ensuring you never come near me again." Evelyn collapsed onto the porch steps. "No, please, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry." "Now you're sorry." Nikki crouched down, eye level. "When cameras are watching, when your reputation is burning, now you apologize." "I didn't mean... I never wanted to hurt you." "Liar." Nikki stood, addressed the crowd one final time. "I survived. Despite her. Because a woman named Victoria Chen saw worth in a broken child under a bridge. She gave me everything, love, education, a future." Her voice softened. "I'm successful not because of my past, but in spite of it. And I'm here tonight to show every person who's ever been abused, every child who's ever been broken." She looked directly at Evelyn. "Your abuser doesn't get the final word. You do." The crowd erupted. Applause, shouts of support. Reporters swarmed forward. Questions flew. "Ms. Chen, will you press charges? Are there other victims? What message do you have for abuse survivors?" Nikki turned to leave. Her bodyguards cleared a path. But she paused, looked back. Her father stood in the doorway, older, sick, broken. Their eyes met. Nikki. His voice was barely a whisper. She walked over, stopped in front of him. You let her hurt me. I know. You heard me crying every night. I know. You did nothing. I know. Tears ran down his face. I was weak, drunk, worthless. You deserved better. Nikki stared at him, searching for something, anything. Yes, she said finally. I did. She walked away, didn't look back. The limousine door closed, the engines roared. Nikki Chen disappeared into the night. Behind her, Evelyn's world crumbled. Inside the limousine, Nikki finally let her mask fall. Her hands shook. Tears came. David, sitting across from her, handed her tissues. You did it, he said quietly. I did. How do you feel? Nikki thought about it, wiped her eyes. Free, she whispered. For the first time in 15 years, free. Her phone buzzed. Messages flooded in. Support, love, stories from other survivors thanking her for speaking up. She read through them, each one a small light. The lawsuit's ready? She asked. Filed Monday morning. With the evidence you presented tonight, they don't stand a chance. Good. The city lights blurred past the window. Nikki leaned back, closed her eyes. Victoria's voice echoed in her memory. You're stronger than you know, darling, and one day you'll show the world exactly how strong. I showed them, Mom, Nikki whispered. I finally showed them. The limousine drove on, toward home, toward healing, toward tomorrow. The bridge where Victoria found her passed by the window. Nikki watched it disappear. That frightened child sleeping there was gone. In her place stood a warrior. And she was just getting started. Monday morning. The city woke to headlines. Billionaire heiress exposes childhood abuse at stepmother's party. Evelyn Parker, from socialite to suspect. Nikki Chen files lawsuit against stepmother. Financial fraud exposed. Every news channel ran the story. The photos, the documents. Evelyn's face plastered everywhere. Not as the victim, as the monster. Nikki sat in her office, overlooking her empire. David entered with coffee and updates. The lawsuit's officially filed. Media's going insane. Evelyn's lawyer just called. She wants to settle. No, Nikki didn't look up from her paperwork. She's offering to admit to everything. Public apology. She'll do jail time if needed. I said no. David paused. Why not? You'd win. Get your justice. Nikki finally looked at him. Because I don't want her apology. I want her exposed completely. Every person she hurt, every lie she told. I want it all in the light. That could take years. Good. Let her squirm. Nikki called a press conference. The room packed with reporters, cameras everywhere. She walked to the podium, poised, prepared. Thank you for coming. I have an announcement. Silence. Since Saturday, 4 women have contacted me, women who experienced similar abuse from Evelyn Parker. We're joining forces, filing a class action lawsuit. The room erupted. Ms. Chen, how many victims? So far, 5, including myself, but we believe there are more. What do you hope to achieve? Nikki leaned forward. Justice, accountability, and a message to every predator who targets vulnerable children. We're coming for you. We remember. We survive. And we fight back. More questions flew. Evelyn's house had become a prison. Reporters camped outside, cameras constantly recording. She couldn't leave, couldn't escape. Her phone rang nonstop, friends cutting ties, business associates distancing themselves. Her lawyer quit. Thursday morning, police arrived, 3 squad cars, lights flashing. Evelyn watched from the window as they approached. This was it. The knock came, loud, official. Evelyn Parker, open the door. She stood frozen. We have a warrant for your arrest. Her hands shook as she reached for the doorknob. The door burst open. Officers poured in. Evelyn Parker, you're under arrest for child abuse, fraud, and embezzlement. Handcuffs clicked around her wrists. You have the right to remain silent. Evelyn tuned out the words, looked at the officers surrounding her. Where's my husband? Already arrested. Separate vehicle. They led her outside, into the lights, into the cameras. Reporters shouted questions. Evelyn, any comment? Do you regret what you did? What do you say to your victims? She kept her head down, said nothing. But inside, rage burned. This was Nikki's fault, all of it. If that ungrateful brat had just stayed dead. Watch your step. An officer guided her into the police car. The door slammed. The trial began 3 months later. Nikki sat in the front row, flanked by the other victims. They'd all agreed to testify, all 5 of them. Sarah, Maria, Jennifer, Emily, Nikki. Different ages, different backgrounds, same story. Evelyn walked in, orange jumpsuit, shackles, no bail granted. She looked older, broken, defeated. Their eyes met. Nikki felt nothing, no satisfaction, no anger, just emptiness. All rise. The Honorable Judge Patricia Morrison presiding. The trial lasted 2 weeks. Medical evidence, photos, documents, testimonies. Each victim took the stand. Deliberation took 4 hours. The jury returned. Has the jury reached a verdict? We have, Your Honor. On the charge of aggravated child abuse, how do you find? Guilty. Evelyn's face went white. On the charge of fraud and embezzlement? Guilty. On the charge of conspiracy? Guilty. Every charge. All guilty. Evelyn collapsed. Guards caught her. The victims held each other, crying, hugging. Justice. Finally. Sentencing came 2 weeks later. Judge Morrison looked at Evelyn with pure contempt. I've been on the bench for 23 years. I've seen many cases, but this... She shook her head. You targeted the most vulnerable members of society, children who'd lost parents, who were grieving. Confused. You exploited that grief. You tortured them. Evelyn kept her head down. The evidence is overwhelming. The testimony's heartbreaking. 5 women stood in this courtroom and relived their trauma because of you. Your Honor, please. Evelyn's voice cracked. I'm not finished. The judge's voice could freeze fire. You showed no remorse. Even on the stand, you blamed the victims, called them burdens, brats. She picked up papers, read from them. Sarah Martinez still can't sleep without lights on. Maria Rodriguez has permanent nerve damage from being locked in a closet. Jennifer Kim attempted suicide twice. Emily Watson can't have children because of internal injuries you caused. Each word hit like a hammer. And Nikki Chen, 7 years old. You beat her so severely she chose a bridge over your home. She ran into a storm. Preferred death to staying with you. The judge leaned forward. You don't get to ask for mercy. You gave none. You'll receive none. She struck her gavel. Evelyn Parker, I sentence you to 25 years in state prison, no possibility of parole. Additionally, you'll pay full restitution to all victims. Your assets will be seized and distributed accordingly. No, please, Evelyn screamed. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. Take her away. Guards dragged her out, still screaming, still begging. Outside the courthouse, media frenzy. Nikki stood with the other victims, united, strong. Ms. Chen, how do you feel about the verdict? Relieved, vindicated, but mostly grateful for these women. She gestured to the others. We survived together. We fought together. We won together. What message do you have for other survivors? Nikki looked directly at the camera. Your voice matters. Your story matters. No matter how much time has passed, no matter how powerful your abuser is, speak up, fight back. You're not alone. What's next for you? I'm establishing a foundation. The Victoria Chen Foundation for Abuse Survivors. Legal support, therapy, resources, whatever they need to heal and fight back. And Evelyn, any final words? Nikki paused, thought carefully. I hope she spends every day of those 25 years thinking about what she did, feeling what we felt, helpless, trapped, broken. She smiled. Not cruel, just honest. She took my childhood. I took her future. Seems fair. 6 months later, Nikki stood in the foundation's new headquarters. Bright, open, safe. Children's artwork covered the walls, photos of survivors, stories of hope. 5 years later, Nikki received a letter. Prison stationery. Evelyn's handwriting. She almost threw it away. Almost. Curiosity won. She opened it. Dear Nikki, I know you won't believe this, but I'm sorry. Truly sorry. 5 years in here has given me time to think, to see what I did, who I hurt. I was broken. I broke others. That doesn't excuse it. Nothing excuses it. I hear about your foundation, the children you've saved, the lives you've changed. You turned your pain into something beautiful. I turned mine into something monstrous. I don't expect forgiveness. I don't deserve it. I just wanted you to know that you were right about everything. I hope you're happy. I hope you're healing. I hope you found peace. Nikki read it twice. Felt nothing. Not anger, not satisfaction, not even pity. Just nothing. She folded the letter. Put it in a drawer. Evelyn could apologize all she wanted. Words didn't change the past. Actions did. And Nikki's actions were saving lives. That was enough.